On one occasion, Courtney Hadwin caused the entire America's Got Talent stage to burst into flames in a matter of seconds. The stadium erupted in applause when the adolescent girl sprang out shyly and unleashed a torrent of energy and a strong voice. Howie Mandel is well known throughout the world thanks to her golden buzzer. "Young lady, there is nothing I can do for you except donate." However, months of greater unrest than anyone could have predicted followed that explosion. The ongoing disputes, the negative audience responses, and the protracted process of establishing its actual worth. Courtney was out of hiding now. They ripped back each mask. As soon as the video of Courtney Hadwin playing Hard to Handle became viral, she verified everything that had created a fuss. God, oh God. At the pace of Howie Mandel's golden buzzer, a number of controversies started to surface on social networking sites. All of the British girl's information was swiftly linked back through a number of accounts. And it was those historical circumstances that served as the catalyst for Courtney's nascent career, at a time when she ought to have been relishing the limelight. A clip of Courtney's 2017 appearance on The Voice Kids UK, a year before AGT was the primary emphasis. Applause. She reached the top 6 and won numerous praises from the coaching crew for her self-assured manner, powerful voice, and enthusiastic performance. Online users immediately started drawing parallels between her performance in the UK and Courtney Shiley's appearance on the AGT stage. Numerous people reported feeling emotionally coerced. Twitter and TV show forums, claims of deliberate placement on AGT further exacerbated the dispute. Compared to other competitors, Courtney was regularly granted prime positions, longer introductions, and greater airtime. The presentation was accused of favoritism by critics. Some thought that rather than a drop in Courtney's performance, the season's lack of victory was mostly caused by unfavorable audience responses. Soon after, Courtney's family was compelled to speak out in a Daily Mail interview. According to her grandfather, the family saw Courtney being harassed at school following her participation in Voice Kids UK. In contrast, he emphasized, many in her native nation had written off her performance style as strange in the United States. The family did not dispute any of the stories that Courtney had been accepted for who she was, but they rejected the public response as making her seem false. Courtney stays out of online arguments. Neither does she write long social media postings, nor does she conduct defensive interviews. Instead, she briefly revealed that the disparity between her fiery stage persona and her reserved demeanor is entirely real. In an interview with Women in Pop from early 2025, "I don't mind talking, but it's not how I express myself. I can convey myself most effectively through music." Many former fans have echoed this comment as their own explanation for what transpired. During the same interview, Courtney claimed that the pressure of her audition, which went viral, paralyzed her. "It was awkward to have millions of people watching her every action and every look. I was unsure of how to respond. Even though I was just 14, I was being treated more like a media personality than a young person trying to figure out who I was." Some music journalists also started to question Courtney's vocal technique at that time. She was referred to in some articles as pseudo-Joplin, a shallow performance style that was supposed to mimic Janis Joplin. She was accused of employing too much energy to mask her vocal style, and was referred to as a screamer rather than a singer. Even though there were still a lot of nice reviews, there was a lot of pressure because of the volume of nasty comments that were posted on sites like Twitter, Reddit, and YouTube. During this time, Courtney progressively stepped back from the limelight, shunning pointless entertainment events and disclosing personal information sparingly. The message of resistance was evident in her music, even though she didn't openly address these remarks. "You Only Love Me When I Lie," her 2024 release, was generally seen as a direct message. The song's lyrics discuss being loved incorrectly, when others only promote a phony version of you, rather than your true self. With its ominous frames, eerie perspectives, and stern faces, the accompanying music video is a protest against the media. For the first time, Courtney responded non-verbally by using songwriting. Courtney's public appearances changed after that. She was less gregarious, selective, and but she always expressed her opinions clearly. She emphasized that her career was a continuous artistic progression, rather than a viral moment, and declined to play the naive, suddenly famous icon. Prior to becoming a household name in the United States, thanks to America's Got Talent, Courtney Hadwin had a difficult and equally difficult road back home in the United Kingdom. Although Courtney's family had no musical experience, they encouraged her to pursue her goals from the start. She was born in Hartlepool and grew up in Hesdin, England, in a modest home with her parents and two siblings. As a child, Courtney was classified as an introvert. Music was her outlet, but she didn't talk much and didn't enjoy being in noisy talks. She has been captivated to the vocals of well-known musicians since she was in primary school at Hesed, particularly those from the soul, funk, and classic rock eras. All of her reserved qualities vanished once she was on stage. The first people to notice the difference were her instructors. Nevertheless, talent must be developed. Courtney started attending art schools, such Coach Julie Miles' Vocal Ovation, Kate Sir School of Music, Peanuts Master Classes, and Shotton Hall Theater School. There was a fee for the classes. Knowing this, Courtney started doing road shows to pay for her music tuition, rather than to become famous. She performed outside, near bus stops, in squares, and any place else people happened to be passing by, while busking in crowded urban areas. She used the money she made to cover her tuition, necessities, and occasionally travel costs for her family. When Courtney was chosen to open for the renowned band, Sister Sledge at the 2017 South Tynside Festival in front of 18,000 people, it was the high point of this series. The same intense fire that would later make her renowned was evident in her performance. Local commentators were taken aback by her ability to compete in front of such a large crowd at the age of 12. She had never before displayed her stage presence on a genuinely professional level. Courtney wasn't an unknown when she took the stage at AGT. From her early days of performing on the streets, to local venues, to competitions in the UK, her journey took place across several years, all of which prepared the way for her transformative 2018 appearance. The world-shattering audition. The judges were leaning in to listen to Courtney Hadwin's gentle voice, stooped shoulders, and frightened eyes darting back and forth as she took the stage for America's Got Talent Season 13. She didn't seem to be about to do anything particularly noteworthy, either in appearance or attitude. However, that only persisted for the initial moments. Courtney changed as Hard to Handle's music began. Her voice, her body, her expression changed in an instant. She was no longer the bashful girl. Instead, she exuded confidence in every hip thrust, every foot tap, and every guttural line she made on stage. Astonished, Judge Simon Cowell looked up. Mel B let out a gasp. The crowd let up a yell. After just the first few verses, the mass was adjourned. Howie Mandel made a snap decision. He slammed the golden buzzer as the song came to a conclusion. To roaring cheers, glitter poured down. "You're like the reincarnation of Janis Joplin," he said. In addition to creating enthusiasm within the studio, those statements led to millions of social media shares. As of 2024, Courtney's audition video had received over 310 million views, making it one among the most viewed videos in AGT history. Courtney maintained her impressive form as she made her triumphant return to the AGT stage for the quarterfinals, with a powerful performance of Papa's Got a Brand New Bag. She was nonetheless regarded by the judges as one of the season's most distinctive performers. She selected Stephen Wolf's Born to Be Wild in the semifinals because it matched the theme she was attempting to get across. Every performance showed excellent command of the tempo, stage presence, and above all, complete devotion to her vintage soul rock sound. However, the pressure on Courtney was at its highest as the final night approached. In a mashup of Could Have Been Me and Piece of My Heart, she played Tina Turner's River Deep Mountain High with a strong voice and the band, the Struts. The set, lighting, choreography, and image all received significant investment in the performance. Even so, the crowd got up to applaud. Still, the judges complimented each other. Courtney, however, did not place in the final top 5 when the results were revealed. The magician Shin Lim was the winner. Many were taken aback. A few were let down. A number of comments on social media sites criticized Courtney's early exclusion, arguing that the voting process was biased more towards sympathy than professional considerations, which meant her originality was not adequately assessed. There was more to Courtney Hadwin's initial impression than just her voice. She developed a style that is challenging to imitate, screams that become music, a restless body, closed eyes, and emotional rawness. She decided to go into a wild, harsh, and dangerous sound. At the age of 14, leaving behind the sweet pop road, she had to demonstrate that she was more than just a viral phenomenon at every performance. Even though she wasn't declared the winner of the competition, Courtney rose to fame on her own. Courtney Hadwin departed the stage with eyes full of doubt and anticipation following the AGT finale and the spotlight. The pressure was beginning to show, but the golden buzzer sound was still present. Although she didn't win when she returned to the UK, Her newfound notoriety was sufficient to launch a new career. In collaboration with Arista Records, a well-known firm in the music business, Courtney inked a recording deal with Simon Cowell's label, Psycho Music, in December 2018. According to the media, this was a good deal that may let Courtney join the ranks of young, focused celebrities. Working with a group of seasoned producers and technicians, she went into the studio and began recording. However, the development took longer than anticipated. The Cover Sessions, her debut EP, was released in October 2019. Old Town Road, Sign of the Times, Someone You Loved, and Sucker were among the 4 cover songs that were featured. The arrangement had a classic rock vibe, and Courtney's edgy voice was evident. However, the response fell short of expectations. The crowd expected something more innovative from someone who had earlier created a worldwide sensation. Even though experts praised the way the music was handled, the EP's performance on streaming services was merely mediocre. Her label, Psycho Music, gradually declined in popularity over that time, before closing in 2020. Despite never speaking in public, Courtney's formal record release plans remained in jeopardy. Courtney verified that she had broken off her collaboration with the label and moved on to work on her own, based on comments left by fans on Instagram. Her relationship with the mainstream music industry started to shift at this point. This stagnation has been exacerbated by the COVID-19 epidemic. Music festivals have been postponed, tours have been canceled, and new releases must be made. Courtney has used social media to stay in touch with her followers. She shares home recordings of her song covers. The most notable is a Happy Xmas War Is Over remix that was made available at the end of 2020. Her warm, calm voice and more mature emotional expressiveness are conveyed in this straightforward video. She intended to take part in several music events in 2021, such as the FM4 Frequency Festival. However, because of the complex pandemic developments, the festival was abruptly canceled. Courtney had to deal with a relatively lengthy career hiatus from late 2019 to early 2023, as a result of the ongoing sense of disappointment and waiting. Few individuals saw Courtney perform live or appear in the media during that time. Her official announcement that she was an independent artist, working without the support of a major record label, marked a turning point in her career. She first signed with M&2S, a management organization that focuses on up-and-coming musicians. However, Courtney terminated the collaboration shortly after, since it did not follow the intended timeline and course. Under Oliver Moata's direction, she relocated to work for Total Artist Management. She started to take charge of every aspect of the production at this point, from selecting songs to establishing her reputation to organizing shows. Courtney has made it apparent in remarks since 2023 that her music is not about satisfying commercial tastes. She wants to sing what she feels and what she is at in terms of her development right now. The emergence of fresh, breakable tunes is the most obvious evidence. Don't Live Here, That Chick, Christmas Rocks Are Monsters. Every song represents a change in tone and subject matter. By 2024, Courtney's return was a new image, quieter, more self-possessed, and prepared to face the things that once damaged her. She no longer relies on well-known songs to showcase her technique, instead using her words to tell her story. The tale of a kid star who once dominated AGT has evolved into a quest to uphold moral principles in a music industry that finds it difficult to accept diversity, rebirth, and reinvention. There was a noticeable change in Courtney Hadwin's artistic orientation in 2023. She progressively made a name for herself as an independent artist with a distinctive color, no longer a name connected to a flash performance on television. Instead of altering her image, she took complete charge of every facet of her music, including songwriting, production, and release strategy. A series of original songs marked the start of Courtney's comeback. When Breakable first came out in early 2023, it showed a delicate and vulnerable aspect of her personality. The difference between the past and present was made evident in the later publication of Don't Live Here, a song about a girl, a strategy to break beyond the AGT girl stigma. Monsters has had the biggest influence on her as an experienced adult, and she wrote to express her current emotional condition rather than to reminisce about her early years. The contrasting structure, rapid melody, and serious subject of the song, which was released just in time for Halloween 2023, addressed the theme of mental health. She writes on the weariness of suppressing feelings and about the difficult-to-name gloomy places. Sasha, 19, on the Billboard Hard Rock Digital Songs list, was swiftly reached by the song. a significant step for a performer who releases without a major label and produces all of their own music. Courtney didn't stop at digital music. She brought better music back to the stage. She took part in the New York Pops Orchestra's 40 Honest Birthday celebration at Carnegie Hall on April 29, 2024. Clive Davis, the renowned producer behind Whitney Houston, was honored at this event. On the platform where global music's biggest artists have played, Courtney sang a Janis Joplin song called Place of My Heart. Courtney now appeared as a true artist, on par with guests like Dionne Warwick, Busta Rhymes, and Barry Manilow, rather than as a TV contestant. She proceeded to record a number of live performances at Metropolis Studios, a well-known location that has played host to artists like Adele, Amy Winehouse, and Queen. In late October 2024, she was able to demonstrate that her live performance is still powerful with this set of footage. The majority of her voice's genuine characteristics were preserved in the recordings because they were not substantially manipulated. It was a conscious decision that was consistent with Courtney's gritty yet upright personality. She started teasing Little Miss Jagged, her debut album, in 2025. There is more to the title than just a wordplay. It has an attitude in addition to being descriptive. In her own words, she describes herself as jagged, which means edgy rather than smooth, real, vague, and unflattering. Kevin Bowe, who has collaborated with Etta James and Joe Cocker, produced the record. According to Courtney, it's a compilation of soundscapes from her numerous phases, which include rock, pop-punk, funk, blues, and soul. Spellbound and You Only Love Me. When I Lie, the album's opening 2 tracks, are now available. According to Courtney's March 2025 interview, Spellbound was created in response to a bad dating experience, in which she realized she was too readily influenced by her feelings. The more straightforward statement, You Only Love Me When I Lie, conveys her weariness at attempting to please the public by projecting an image that is not authentic to her inner self. The song is seen as her most direct reaction to the long-running dispute. Please take a time to like the video and share it with someone who might be searching for a different form of inspiration. If you believe this tale to be important, one based on sincerity, fortitude, and silent power. These kinds of stories aren't usually ostentatious or loud, but they convey a reality that sticks with you. Whether it's a gearhead, a friend going through a difficult time, or someone who just needs a reminder that drive and determination are still important. We think your voice important, and that storytelling is a two-way street, so this might be the message they didn't realize they needed. We would love to know whether this film challenged you, spoke to you, or reminded you of something. Join the discussion by leaving a comment below. For more engaging videos, remember to subscribe and like this one.